First of all, I would like to notice that this is not a museum. Why not a museum? Because when we talk about the museum, we talk about yesterday, and it's finished. And yesterday has a finish. For example, if you go to some museum, just in the corner, we're gonna find like some pieces talk about the presence of the Roman, the Phoenician, and the Portuguese. That is a part of the past. But the Jewish history in Morocco, that's yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That's why by that it's not a museum. And the history of this house, so let's back up to the 18th century, when the Sultan Muhammad III, the king, had the idea to create the city of Essaouira. He asked the Moroccan from the different confessions, Jews, Muslim, Arab, Berber, from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west of Morocco, to come to Essaouira to develop the economy of the local economy here in Essaouira. Because at the time, the harbor of Essaouira was the only harbor in Morocco that is opened to the rest of the world. At the time, we had like boats going from Essaouira to Manchester, from Essaouira to Marseille, and etc. So the idea was the people here living in Essaouira, they were Jews, Muslim, Arab, Berbers, and others living here in Essaouira, and they have only one mission: the development of the economy of the city. We had the Millah, which is the Jewish quarter, but also the Jews didn't live only in the Millah, but they were living in all the old Medina. And we don't say the Jewish Moroccan, the Moroccan Jews. We are all Moroccan after we are Jewish, after we are Muslim, after we are Christian and others. Because people, when they say Morocco, they say Arabic and Muslim country. Yes, that's true, but not all of Moroccans. Moroccans are Muslim, are Arab, are Berber, are Jews, you know. And here in the quarter where we are, called Millah Qadim or Qasba, there was Jews and Muslims living here also in this quarter. And just for information, Essaouira was the only city in the Islamic world where the Muslims were minority here in the city. And here in this quarter, the Jews and Muslim was living. And this house, it's a house of a particular. He's a commerçant called Simon Shimon in Arabic. Simon bin Ziri Atiya. Like he did the commerce between the sub-Saharan Africa, traveled Essaouira, and to Europe. And the opposite. They bring stuff from Europe to Essaouira and to the rest of Morocco. So he go and back. One day he traveled as normal, but he was late. His wife, Mima Atiya, was waiting for him, and she asked the people that they know if they have some news about his husband, her husband. Then she go to the sub-Saharan Africa, actually in Liberia, and she knows that he is dead in Liberia and board in Manchester. Then she back to Essaouira, she take a boat to Manchester, and she visit the cemetery. Then she decided to not bring the body, but to bring something special. So all the material here, she bring it from Manchester by boat to create in his house this synagogue, named Synagogue Simon bin Ziri Atiya. So all the stuffs here are bringing from Manchester, and the people, they come here for prayer, like every Shabbat, and even in the normal days. So this was the beginning of the Beit Dakra. So this was created in the end of the 19th century, and it was a house, and the synagogue here in the floor. But by the time the Essaouira Mogador Association, with the collaboration of the Ministry of Culture, had the idea to collaborate and to create Beit Dakra. Beit means the house, Dakira means memory. So this is the house of memory and not museum here, because we know that many Jewish had left Morocco after the independence of Israel, or they go to Canada, France, etc. The young generation didn't have this direct contact with the Moroccan Jewish, or the Jews in general. And today we need to show to my generation and the generation that they come after me that the Jews and Muslims were living here in Essaouira, and even after some Christian was living here. We're gonna look for in the floor that a writer from Netherlands had write Essaouira is a city of the three Sunday, because the Muslim close on Friday, Saturday the Jewish, Sunday the Christian. So here the people they come and they show the history of the Moroccan Jewish and the Jewish heritage in Morocco, because in the Moroccan constitution, being Moroccan means being Arab, Amazigh, which is Berber. Andalusian, African, Mediterranean, Hassanian, which is the language in the Moroccan Sahara, and Hebraic. So these elements, this many elements create the Moroccan identity. So if you say that I'm Muslim, yes, of course, but my identity is not is not this thing. It's not I'm not only Muslim. So Muslim with a part of me is Jews. Even the same for the Jewish. He's Jewish, but a part of him is Muslim.
What's the reason why this just become like this in Morocco? Because in other part of the world, the Muslim and Jewish Christians, they can't really live together for some reason. What do you think? Why is it different in Morocco? What's the secret ingredient, or what's the reason for that?
I guess the reason for that is that Morocco, from the beginning of the history of Morocco, Morocco is a kingdom. And the king of Morocco had the title of Amir al-Mu'minin, which is the commandant of the believers, not the commandant of the Muslim, the believers. So all the believers living in Moroccan land are under the responsibility of the king. So the king, he ensured the spiritual life of the believers in Morocco. And even in Islam, so the non-Muslim living in Islam land called Ahl Dimma. So it's in your responsibility, fi dimmatik, in your responsibility. So the king ensured the life of all the believers living in the Moroccan soul, and the Moroccan with different religion considered themselves first of all Moroccan, then after the other thing. We are all Moroccan. We have all the same right, the same values, and we have also the same tradition. So we are all Moroccans. Then after we are Muslim or Jewish or something else. So the secret that the Moroccan considered themselves first of all Moroccan, then the other thing.
I see this sign here, Shalom Alaykoum. What does this mean exactly? I'm like this, the mixture of these two.
Yeah, so this is the mix between Arabic and Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Arabic and Hebrew have the same origin. They are Semitic languages. So in Hebrew we say Shalom Alaykoum, in Arabic we say Salam Alaykoum. So here is mix between Salam Alaykoum and Shalom Alaykoum.
Nice.
And so this is the first walls welcoming us. So here is the spiritual space. Then we go out from the spiritual space to go to the pedagogical and educative space. The first walls welcoming us, it's Salam Alaykoum and Shalom Alaykoum. Then the two holy books, the Quran and the Torah, they are here next to each other. So they are dialoguing.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, they are dialoguing 24 hours per day and 7 days per week.
Oh.
You're gonna not find this anywhere. The Quran and the Torah next to each other.
That's unique as well.
Yeah. Like find the cycle of life. So an opportunity I didn't mention it. So when we enter about any door in the house owned by Jews in Morocco or in other country, so they put this called mezouza. So when the owner or someone comes, so they touch the mezouza and kiss the hand. So here in this cycle we find the cycle of the life, started from the birth to the death. And the person we say here, he's a wonderful person. He is Moroccan, Swahili from Essaouira. He's Jewish, and he's like the inspiring, because he's defending the values of Essaouira, which are a noble values and universal values. He's Jewish, and he's Moroccan. And draft the association. He's an advisor to His Majesty, and he's from Essaouira, and he did a lot of things. So he consecrated a big part of his life to this subject, living together. And by giving the example of the city when he is born. He is from here, from Essaouira. He was born here, and he draft his work and draft what he's doing. He's showing to the others how people was in Essaouira, and take Essaouira as a model to the rest of the world.
What do you think? What would be the good model or the solution for other countries to do something similar or be like this, like in Morocco?
Yeah, in Morocco, and especially here in Essaouira, so our secret is like the dialogue. So we was living here. So the Jewish Muslim live and still living together, but they are dialoguing, they are celebrating together, dancing together, talking together, even if they have like some fests. So they share. The secret that we dialogue and we share everything. The Jews and Muslims share the same life here in Essaouira. So by sharing these values, we cannot lose these values by sharing. But by stopping the contacts with the others, so the problems start from here. But when we are still sharing, talking, celebrating, asking about each other, so we will never have a problem.
Dialogue. So that's the key.
Exactly. So here's some people from Essaouira, for example. This one, the David Yuli Levy. He's from Essaouira. His father from Essaouira. He's born in the United States, but he is the first Jewish to be elected in the history of the United States. The first ever Jewish to be elected, and he's from Essaouira.
Oh, nice.
We all know that Morocco was the first country to recognize the independence of the United States, and it seems that his grandfather was this person to write this letter of independence. He is also from Essaouira. He moved to England, and he became the Minister of the Finance, Transport, and the Defense. And he seems the Belisha Beacons, they take the name they take his name, Belisha Beacons. He looks so Churchillian, but he's Moroccan Swahili. She is also from Essaouira. She born in New York, but she came to Essaouira to create the first school for girls in the history of Morocco. Still lack of course.
All of the girls, or only for Jewish or Muslim?
No,
or
all the girls.
all the girls?
Yeah.
And what were they teaching there? Just normal subject or some religious things?
No, they said normal subjects, and sometimes they teach Hebrew. So they teach the normal subjects and Hebrew. So here we're gonna find we had a kind of music in Morocco called the Andalusian music, the Moroccan, the Arabic Jewish music, which is singing by Moroccan Jews and Muslim. And here in Essaouira we celebrate every year the Andalusian festival, the Atlantic Andalusian festival, which is the only festival in the world when the Jewish and Muslim all around the world meet here for one thing, dancing and singing together.
I heard the story about Jimi Hendrix and Orson Welles coming to Essaouira as well, and so many other artists and musicians back then in the 60s, 70s, and since then as well. What's the reason why all of these people are coming here?
So the reason I guess that people come to Essaouira because it's a relaxed city and calm city, an inspiring city. Because if you meet someone here in Essaouira, nobody gonna ask you where are you from, what is your religion. They're gonna ask you what do you want to do for the city. Beit Dakira is this, the spiritual space trap the synagogue, the educative pedagogic space here trap these rooms. In the first floor it's the center, it's the research center, Hayy Masjid Zafrani, and the library. So 3 dimensions. The first dimension spiritual, educative, and research in the first floor. Trap the library and the center of research.
Do you have a rabbi as well who is coming to do the worshipping?
Sorry?
Rabbi? Do you have a rabbi?
Here inside us we have a rabbi. Yeah.
Because I read earlier, like few decades ago, you had like 50,000 Jewish back then, like in the 60s, 70s, or something like that. Now, do you know how many? Was
the number exactly? I don't
was the just approximately the population, the Jewish population right now in Essaouira?
Actually, I have no idea. Yeah. So there are a few today, but the number exact. So activities, we have Haylula, which is a religion meeting when the Jews all around the world come to visit. And last Haylula, it was in September, we had like 13,000 people.
And now during the Hanukkah, because this is now Hanukkah time,
Hanukkah, yeah.
Do you have a celebration here in the house? Or?
We still have Hanukkah, you're gonna see it there. And we consume the candle every night. Today also we're gonna light the candle. Tomorrow is the last day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can light the candles every.
And people are coming to celebrate? Is there any celebration as well, or just like?
So if someone of there is, so for example, yesterday we were Muslim and Jewish, and we light the candles. I guess today too we will be. So the direction of Bayt Akira decided that the light will be not off of the Hanukkah. With the present or the absent of the Jewish, the light will be always light in the house, and maybe, and we hope that we light the way of the peace in the world. The grandfather of the actual kingdom, Muhammad VI.
Mhm.
So here is the famous story of the king. So we all know that Morocco was under the French protectorate. At the same time, French was under the Nazi occupation, the great the Vichy government, and the Vichy government was wandering and working for the Jews all around the world. When they came to Morocco, so that's the most important thing, that Morocco was under the French protectorate. But he didn't list his values. Even under the French protectorate, Morocco had the same values. When the Vichy government asked the king about the Jews in Morocco, he said, I don't have Jews in Morocco. I have Moroccans, and they are all my subjects. Muslim or Jews, they are my subjects, and I cannot give you a Moroccan. If he's Jews or something else, he is Moroccan.